Hey guys, we've got news for Global for August 12th. A little bit late this week, for different reasons. I talked about it briefly in the previous video that I released, but for late news, joining me again is ShadoWalker. So say hello, Shadow.
Yeah, of course, the day that I have booked, Sinzar decided to say, nah, we're not doing it.
I know, Rage quit, called out Shadow, like, nah, dude, we ain't doing videos.
I think it's also kind of appropriate because maintenance is 1 day late, so it's okay if news day is a few days late.
That is completely true. Gooey's got my back here, so they realize this might happen, so they push maintenance back a day so that I have a day to cool off, and the news is on time, technically speaking. But you actually did request to be on the Balthier banner a while back, but Leo had asked before you. But I still got you on for the other part of Final Fantasy XII because, from what I understand, this is a really popular game with you as well, right?
Yeah, I still think it's the best numbered Final Fantasy game. So hot topic, but hot take. Well, but that's still my take.
That is pretty cool. I personally enjoy the game as well, but I honestly don't find a ton of people saying it's their favorite. I don't really find people saying, like they don't like it or anything. Just not many saying that it's their favorite. But that is cool.
Yeah, I think the reason that I like it the most, just to give a quick spiel, is because it has the best end game of every Final Fantasy game. It has like a nice little tower mode that you can have fun with. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool. But anyway, the banners this week are from Final Fantasy XII. We've got Vaan, Vayne, and Folka. Best Final
Yeah,
Fantasy XII.
Folka, my favorite Final Fantasy 12, my favorite Final Fantasy 12.
Maybe it's really like Pinello in cosplay or something. But it's the Armory step up, and once again, they are not adding anything new. So this is just for those of you that maybe previously skipped an Armory ticket and you're wanting to get it. But it's here, and I believe the Armory closes at the end of the month, right? So this is like the last chance to get this Armory stuff.
Yeah, this is the last time.
Okay, so if you're pulling on that, do that. If you've been saving tickets, undecided, definitely make your decision quickly because you've got about 2 or 3 weeks until the Armory is closed.
There's a weird part of me that thinks that the 50% magic evade will become useful someday, but I'm not really sure.
I know, that one, I'm personally not going to be pulling in this banner, and I didn't pull on the previous Armory banner. I forget which one it was, but it was a banner that I skipped. And yeah, like, that little thing in the back of my mind is like, someday, this is going to be relevant. This is going to be like a silver rifle scenario, where it's completely worthless for years, and all of a sudden it's like the best in slot, out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be like this one cow where you absolutely need it.
Mm-hmm. But, unfortunately, I will be suffering without it because I will not have that evasion chest piece, the magic evasion.
Yep. All right, Vaughn, can I start this off?
Yes. Tell me all the reasons that Vaughn is best character.
Okay, Vaughn is a better Emperor. That's the best way to put it.
Is he, though? Is he? Okay. What is the reason you say that? I'm curious. Legitimately.
He has a cooldown ability that Emperor doesn't have.
Okay, so we're going to go look at that real quick. So, yes, it is it's a 10-turn cooldown, but it is available on turn 1 for a 160 in peril. That is true. He can, the big thing, this like new line of, copy-paste breakers from JP is this time they all have 160 in perils for their element. Emperor was the wind version, Vaan is the fire version. It is
exactly.
True. Yep. This is
because he has an on-demand, fire breaking ability.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much, I guess, better. Because it's just there. Like, you can do it 2 turns in a row.
You mean he can do the cooldown and then he can do the SLB?
Exactly.
Yeah, because the SLB, for those that aren't familiar, is also right here. 160 fire in peril, that's you. Once his SLB gets going, assuming he's EX2 or better, because remember, debuffs have 1 extra effective turn, this can be a full uptime at EX2 and beyond, starting, well, actually forever, because, at EX2, you can, do the cooldown on turn 1, and then by turn 4, the EX2 SLB is ready, and yeah, you can maintain it, assuming the boss doesn't cure debuffs, permanent uptime. That is true. The reason I was kind of like, why do you say that about Emperor? Because for Emperor, he brings a really good weapon in peril, Rod in peril 35%. Vaughn, instead of weapon in peril, is bringing AoE killer of human for the party. which is fine. It's a good human killer, but it's human killer, and that's like, everywhere.
But at the same time, if your breakers are one of those necessity slots anyways, so if you're breaking a breaker and your breaker does killing buffs, breaks, and it does elemental resist, I think that's a really slot efficient thing, especially in DV.
It's good. Okay, so here's the and again, I am not trying to be like downplaying your favorite unit or your favorite game. I know Vaughn isn't the favorite. You wanted Balthier, but just to discuss it, in the terms of Global's meta with Sylvie basically. Do you see? Do you? I mean, I'm seeing. Oh, Sylvie exists. We have to realize that. So do you think the Strong in Peril can like make teams shift over from either Thunder or Earth into a fire-based team?
Well, if future TVs are anything like what we got this week, we won't have this issue because no one's going to be finishing it anyways. But no, that's a good question. Like, if you have the choice of fire or earth, earth or lightning, why would you ever choose fire? That's an essential question that you need to ask yourselves if anyone's trying to pull for this unit. I think from a copium perspective, like a straight up copium perspective, this isn't the worst unit in the world, especially considering a JP unit. JP units have set such a low bar for us that this one, Balthier, Roos are pretty decent compared to the ones that we got a few months ago. And the only reason for that is I think they finally I think at this point Alum kind of figured out how to do decent unit design. I say decent with a lot of I don't know, I guess asterisks in the back.
It is true. He's like he's an okay unit. And again, I guess here's me playing the other side of the coin. He does have a few problems if you're gearing him to contribute damage. He doesn't gear super well, kind of like tooling and all that. He doesn't have a ton of damage passives. He's only got 100 LB damage. As you can see over here, he's only classified as a breaker, meaning he can't even use things like Knights of Grand Sheld card or all the new attacker limited material we've been getting, like Balthier's chest piece and Rain's the new Assure Rain's STMR, all that kind of stuff doesn't qualify on him. It's a little unfortunate, but he is still a decent breaker, and if you have like the really powerful gear to get around these problems, he can still do respectable damage. It's not top tier though. Go ahead.
When I look at JP units, I don't look at it, am I going to pull or not? I look at it, am I going to get pissed if I get this off banner or not? And Vaughn is a unit that I won't get pissed if I get off banner. It's not like something like, I don't know, Vlad, where I get pissed if I see it's off banner, I get a Vlad. No, but Vaughn, I would be pretty happy with.
I just, within the last 2 weeks, got my Vlad to EX3 from off banners. Yep, I am familiar with Vlad.
Our Lord and Savior Vlad.
I have never used this unit, probably never will, but he's EX3.
And I think that's the only healthy way to look at JP units. Like, are you going to be happy if you get them off banner?
Mm-hmm. So let's look at what this guy brings with him. So here's his STMR. It's kind of funny because on the JP server, his STMR was the same thing, but it was literally translated as Zodiac Spear, even on JP it was a two-handed fist. And of course, if you look at his sprite, it's still pretty clearly a spear. Like, it is a spear, but it's a fist. So
wait. Why is the Zodiac Spear a fist? That's not the Zodiac Spear. I
have no idea. Like, the model is very clearly a spear. On the JP server, it was named the Zodiac Spear, but it has always been a fist, even on JP. Even though it was called the Zodiac Spear, it was still a fist. This very possibly was like a miscommunication. Maybe the art designer was told to draw a spear.
Oh my god! Did they never even play FF12?
I don't know. It's very strange. It is very strange. It's kind of funny, but it's strange. But it's a two-handed fist with 35 evasion and chain speed increase. Like, to this day, this is still one of those constant questions you see in like the help chat on Discord and all. Is this chain cap or chain speed? What's the difference, etc., etc. So this is not chain cap. This is chain speed, which is usually a not important statistic.
It's the chain floor.
Yes, chain floor, exactly. And then his TMR. Now, his TMR is, technically speaking, very good if you have the breaker tag. So it's 60. It's a little bit low base attack, but it's 60 attack power, some flat stats for Vaughn only, and then for anyone, well, any breakers, 100% attack and 100% true double hand. So that's pretty nice, I guess. And then
pretty good.
We'll come to him in a minute. And then the vision card. And the vision card is unfortunately pretty terrible. It's 90 base attack with low LB damage, a little bit more LB damage for breakers only, and then a little bit of flat attack for breakers. So terrible vision card. Use a different one. But yeah.
Yeah, like, he probably best install his Belthier for himself. So.
Mm-hmm. And then Vayne. So here is, a problem there. My fault. I'm hosting the news video and did basically no research on the JP server. I have literally never used Vayne. I have him. I upgraded him. I have never used him. I really, honestly speaking, don't even know how to use him or what he does. So, Shadow, can you save me here?
Not really.
So I do know that on the Chronicle Battle that is locked to Final Fantasy XII units only, Vayne was a popular choice for those people that didn't pull the brand new units. Vayne was a popular choice. We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, because he's a Balthier light in essence, kind of. Because he does he has that whole racial. Well, his SLP is two parts: racial and non-racial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he does get a bunch of flat stats as well. Like his STMR gives 1,000 attack and magic. His event weapon gives 1,000 more, etc. So he gears well. But yeah, I know people used him to solo carry. Well, with a support team, the Chronicle Battle that is locked to Final Fantasy XII only. We're gonna talk about that more in a few minutes because it's also this week. Full disclosure: I have never cleared that Chronicle Battle on the JP server. Mostly because I forgot about it. I was gonna. So here's the thing: I didn't have Vayne Awakening at the day one. I think JP did not give his Awakening for free, so you just had to have had some, and I didn't at the time by memory. For whatever reason, I didn't have his Awakening, and I didn't do the Chronicle, and then I forgot about it and never went back. And then it coming out on Global was like, oh yeah, I never beat that, did I? Still haven't.
Wow, lazy man.
But yep, so I can't really tell you much about Vayne, neither can Shadow. He's a DPS unit with hybrid stats. That's the best
SLB? Yeah.
No, he's Brave Shift, I believe. Nope,
no, he's SLB.
Nope, he's SLB. Never mind. SLB. Unfortunate. You can tell I don't really know much about him. And here's his STMR, 1,000 flat attack and magic, but literally Vayne only. So this is strictly for only him. So yeah, don't worry about making multiple copies of that. And then Folka, a unit I am familiar with from the JP server. So her shift form becomes a terrible water mage you are never going to use. Ignore the shift form. Ignore it.
So wait, are all NVAs just bad now going forward?
Well, she's not bad. Her shift form is bad, but her base form is actually a lot better. It's a lot better. So Folka, really Folka's niche in the game has always been basically mana regen. If you had a fight where you needed really good mana regen, Folka has been one of the better options. Not always the best option, but a good option. Her Neovision's Awakening just improves that. So now, at the start of every turn, as an autocast, she AoE refills 200 flat mana to the entire party. Every turn, autocasting. So any kind of fight that mana drains you, no matter how strong the mana drain is, you will always have a minimum of 200 mana on your entire party if she's along.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good, especially for the upcoming trial coming out this week as well for Belphegor, because Belphegor loves his mana drains, and yeah, I use Folka in JP to help out with that. That being said, other than the better mana restoration, she's basically still just Folka. She buffs immunity and heals, but then again, so does everyone else. So yeah, that's really it. So if there's a fight where mana drains are a critical core mechanic, Folka can be your answer. Other than that, she's just a healer. And that's it.
Do you think healers will ever come back? They need to... The healers have been dead for so long by this point, right?
Honestly, other than some kind of core gameplay change, Not really, because I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Muspel used to love talking about how the problem was giving healers Curasia, and you could use one heal to top off your party.
Mm-hmm.
They have fixed that in Clash of Wills, the thing is, you may not have even have noticed. For the past 2 Clash of Wills, you have had almost the entire time on your party a 90% healing reduction buff. So the previous boss, Janna's Varna or whatever.
Never even knew this.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. The whole game is based around like negating damage. So yeah, there was a 90% healing reduction on your party the whole time. It was called like Venomous Toxin. It reduced heals by 90%. Because heals are so strong, that 90% is simply reducing like, Kresnik or Chow's healing from 150,000 to about 15,000. And that basically tops off your team other than your tank. So like 90% healing reduction is still not even enough to make you realize it's even there because it's so irrelevant. Like healing has become that irrelevant in the game. So in order to fix that, I don't even know. Like how could they? What can they do? Like I guess 99% healing reduction. But at that point, it just gets silly at that point. So there needs to be some other kind of way to fix the need for healers in the game. And for example, we've now got Sylvie, who counterattacks percentage-based heals. So even if your tank, let's say, some other games to fix this problem have like increased like tank HP astronomically high. Let's pretend like, your Maeve has 1.5 million HP. So obviously Curagers for 80k aren't going to do much. But now we've got Sylvie, percent-based heal. Sylvie is going to counter heal your tank to full no matter how high it is. So yeah, healing is just fundamentally broken in this game, and I don't have the answer to fix that.
Oof.
And then the other new unit for the week is Cosplay Rain. This time he is dressing up as Final Fantasy I's Warrior of Light. This is the other unit like this we had either last week or a few weeks ago, recently at least. And this is now being stuck on this banner. He is basically the same step up. It's guaranteed. You get 150 shards. He is probably not going to have VIP shards. That was actually a surprise. Lastwell did not get VIP shards added to the shop after 2 weeks. How do you feel about that, Shadow?
I don't think anybody missed it, to be honest.
I didn't. I really don't care, and I'm just like mentioning it just for completion's sake. But that being said, I always buy the 20 extra shards because we get 30 from login. So after VIPs go in, I always buy.
That's true.
I buy 20 more to top off all units. So when I off banner someone, I can just EX1 them just to use them. And
Wait, look at this whale having so much VIP coins to spare. What the hell?
It is true. That is 400 VIP coins a week. But yeah, I'll usually do that for that just to off banner, and then Lastwell's banner, and then like, oh wait a minute, he's not in the shop, and I can't even top it off. So even if I do eventually someday off banner Lastwell, he's stuck at EX0, which, like, who cares? But still. But anyway,
But I think the banner itself was way too generous for them to include it in the EX shop. Anyways, like this banner format guarantees an EX2, I think, at the end of the first step. So
it does.
You're not gonna expect to see anything better than that.
I guess that makes sense. And as expected for a extremely generous banner, the unit is bleh, like not good.
It's a straight up carbon copy, isn't it? Of the old Rain.
Oh god, I glanced at his kit like a few days ago. I don't even remember. It probably is because Lastwell's is basically a copy of the other Lastwell. This is very likely just a copy of Rain.
I mean, even look at the sprite, right? Like the sprite positions, like the Brave Shift form is exactly the same as the other Rain. And the base form is exactly the same as the NB Rain. So yeah, I expect it to be exactly the same.
It probably is. The vision card, as you can see right here, is the same as the old Rain vision card. The STMR is a attacker only, 100% LB damage. So again, the exact same copy as the other Lastwell. It's just his was for mages. This is for physicals or attackers. Bad TMR. Like this is just. Unless you're like a big time either collector or spender, this is a total skip banner. So he's there.
Yes.
And then the event is a raid. Raids are exciting. There's not a ton to say. Here's some gear. here is the gear I was talking about for Vayne. So you get it from the raid. It's 500 stats, and then it's upgraded in the Chronicle to 1,000 stats. So if you're going to use Vayne, get this, upgrade it. It's got some killers. Stone Killer is a little bit rarish, so this is kind of nice. More human killers, whatever. But down here is going to be... This is going to be a wake-up call for a lot of players. This is when some of these bosses start getting pretty crazy. So, are you familiar? Are you familiar with this boss from the JP server, Shadow?
Yeah, I heard lots of rumors about it.
Okay, so people that watch watch all my videos, including the JP videos, know that in the future, trials get insane with their resistances. This is like where it started. So, who even is this? Is this Judge Geese? Judge Gabriel?
No, that's Gabriel.
Gabriel, okay, so Gabriel. Here is a Libra from the JP server. Check out these resistances. 230 to everything but one element, meaning even if you use a powerful Imperil, you still cannot hurt this boss. 210 fire resist, meaning you need a minimum of 115 Imperil, which doesn't even exist. So 120 Imperil to even deal any damage whatsoever. And at that point, the boss is only taking 10% damage, which is insane. So you can only use fire. I mean, people are going to be like, technically, you could go off element with like an Imperil field. But no, you can only use fire. You're going to need a powerful fire Imperil. Recommend more than 120. Like a 135 from like Roberta, for example, will only bring this boss to plus 75 resist. He's still going to be crazy bulky. On the JP server, a fire Imperil field didn't even exist. Thankfully, on the global server, we could use Lena because her field was changed.
And Louise.
Louise is amplified, not Imperil field.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so... so just basically, this boss is very, very bulky. And he was a pain for me on JP. I forget the exact team that I used, but it took a few turns to farm. And if I remember correctly, this is like a farming boss. You got to kill him every day or something. This is by memory. I could be mistaken here, but I just remember this boss was a big headache. Like, he was a real big headache. He's not, like, hard to survive or anything. He's just so excessively bulky because of these resistances. It made him irritating to kill. But yeah, so...
Imagine if this was FF12 limited.
Oh, what happened there? I actually didn't play that.
Oh, no, I'm just saying if this was limited to FF12 units.
Yes, that would be a headache, but thankfully, no. This you can take anyone in you want. Yes. So there's that. And like I mentioned, going forward, considering we're getting Belphegor this week, the next trial after Belphegor, well, trials begin the same foolishness with the same craziness. But that's a topic for another day. We're gonna get to that eventually on Global. So there's that boss. And then there's the Chronicle Battle. This is the very easy one. We just farm, take anything you want, but you should be taking bonus units, of course. Some gear. So there's a ring or an accessory. It's 25 evasion. It's fine. Whatever. Who cares? But this is the one that's a little bit strange. So we did not get any news about upgrades for Gabrant, our Neovisions. On the JP server, he got a unit kit overhaul, EX abilities, and crowns, all from this event. We are apparently skipping that on Global. What do you think about that, Shadow?
See, that's the thing that pisses me most off about this. I don't care about DV being screwed up last week. They're skipping Gabranth again. Like, Gabranth's been already skipped once, if you know what I mean. Like, 5-star Gabranth was completely left in the dust. And now we're just skipping his EX abilities and his crowns, which just pisses me off.
It is pretty weird because they recently gave Snow his upgrades, and I think if I remember correctly, Snows were not on time. Snows were late. Yes, now I remember. Yes, we skipped Snow on the expected banner, and then we got his upgrades later. So I guess there is a chance that Gabranth will simply be late instead of skipped entirely. I think Snow was like 3 weeks late based on the expected JP schedule. So maybe he's coming later. But this is his Chronicle weapon that makes Gabranth a lot better. So when he's
what does his kit work give him?
Um, I don't remember. Let's go look. Let's go look. That what he's called Gabranth Neo Visions JP. We can look right here. So okay. So comparing to global, what was different? I think by memory, some of these like mitigations,
the numbers might have gotten better.
Yeah, the numbers gotten better. But the main thing it focused on was his shift form, and it made him like a sort of damage dealer. So this ability.
Oh yeah, the defense scaling, 1580.
Yeah.
1158.
Mm-hmm. So you have this, plus it gets more modifiers from this. You see right here, boost the damage of certain abilities from his Chronicle weapon. So it gets even higher from that. This is his crown skill. It gets more damage. That's what his crowns were basically focused around. Also, it gave EX skills. So static stats, 500 defense at EX3. I think he actually has some of these already. I think they gave him. I think this is the only new one. Is the 500 stats at EX3. Yeah. So not like super
it's
big.
It's not like snow. Like snow kind of turned into from shit to like usable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Bappy was always pretty good. So
yeah. So these aren't going to really like make him the best tank or anything. And actually, I would argue that they're not even all that good. But
he still needs it.
Exactly. For fans of the unit, like, for Shadow, who loves Final Fantasy 12, and, like, if you had a choice to take, Maeve or Gabranth, and if Gabranth is a viable option, I'm sure you'd rather take Gabranth just because you like the unit, right?
Yeah, 100%. And this is why these sort of things kind of just irk me. Especially, I mean, I have an EX3 Gabranth. I'm so ready for this shit to happen one day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we can hope, like I said, snows were just late a few weeks. Maybe Gabranth will be coming next week or in the near future. We can hope. And then here's the one I was talking about. This is the Chronicle Battle that is locked to only Final Fantasy 12 units. It is permanent content, so if you can't do it immediately, it'll always be there. But yeah, this is the one I didn't do in JP because I tried it once. It was too bulky. I'm like, whatever. I don't have Vaughn yet. Not Vaughn. Well, I didn't have him either. But I didn't have Vayne yet, and then I just forgot about it and never went back. At this point, I do have Vayne in JP. I've off-bannered more of him, and I've saved him. So I could probably do it in JP today. But also, I just got Ash in JP pretty recently. But yeah, it's the usual stuff. So Mystery Crystal, a badge for party of 4 or less, etc. It's just go for it.
Are we getting Vayne for free this time around?
I didn't actually see that in the raid news. Let me look.
Because I don't think we are.
It doesn't mention it. I'm pretty sure JP did not give any Vayne. Like, you just had to have known in advance. And, when that happened, I told people on my channel, start saving your Vaynes. So hopefully people have listened and they've saved up enough to make him. Because I don't think they gave him in JP. And I don't see anything in this news about them giving Vayne either. So maybe not. He might not be a free unit. But the good news is, as you can see from these rewards, other than the Mystery Crystal, these are like, who cares? Like, just, get them when you can. If you can't get them on day one, don't sweat it. It'll be fine. Someday you'll off-banner one of these good units, and you could, go back and do it.
One of these good units.
I mean, some of them are good, like Balthier's on here. Like, for someone that chased fleet-footed Sky Pirate Balthier, I mean, this would be super easy.
I have Balthier and Ash, so I can definitely.
Yeah, you can have no problems at all with this one.
I mean, of course I do. Of course I do.
And then the last thing, I'm not going to go over this too much in detail because I did make an entire dedicated video about this and giving you some tips a few hours earlier. But Belphegor is coming this week. It is the Demon 12 race trial. If you want more exact tips, load up the video I made earlier today. But Shadow, is there anything you want to mention about this?
No, I mean, this is our last easy one, so hopefully it goes well.
No, actually, there's just a few more easy ones coming up later. Like, for example, the Aquatic 12 race trial. Octomammon, complete joke. Super easy on Stroper level. Like, very, very easy. But yes, the one after this one, Raphalesia, I have never beaten in JP and still can't beat to this day. So the next one is going to be crazy. But this one, not so hard. It really isn't. So do you have a team in mind that you're going to be taking, Shadow?
It involves Chizuru. That's it. That's all I know.
Good option. She's very strong. I would not be surprised if a well-built Chizuru team could kill this trial in 3 turns or something. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Very possible.
I actually got my EX3 Chizuru with VIP coins.
Oh, very
So,
nice.
so I'm looking forward to taking her for a spin.
But all right, that's pretty much it for the news. I'm hoping Shadow has amazing luck. I'm probably not going to be pulling in this banner. I do have like 47 copies of Folka in the vault, so she's easy EX3 day one.
To be honest, I might not even pull for Vaughn because I
Mm.
think the 2 weeks of Chizuru and then Balthier kind of drained me.
Oh,
So I'll see what happens.
makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, thanks again for joining me for late news, Shadow.
No worries. It's been
All
my
right.
pleasure.
See you guys next time.
Bye.